So as far as training frequency throughout the week, so our drafts are like 3 days on, 1 day off, 5 days on, 2 days off. Yeah, as far as training frequency goes, a couple things you obviously have to draft. People have lives. So, what we've seen is generally, your first day coming off your rest day, you feel pretty good. Day 2, starting to get a little bit sore. Day 3 can be, okay, now we've got multiple, workouts that we're still recovering from. And then if you have that 4th and 5th day, it's going to be hard to really bring intensity. With that said, obviously with people's work schedules, you've got to be accommodating in certain senses, but you also need, again, coming down to coaching and having conversations with people. If they don't have the ability to withstand the rigors of a CrossFit and workout 5 days in a week, then that 4th day you might need to program them some skill work to do on their own or some recovery work that they're getting in there. And that's again building the leadership inside your facility that people can trust you. Is going to make your life really easy and say, hey dude, you don't need a 4th workout, you need to go spend some time on some flexibility or work on some hollow holds or work on your muscle up progressions, spend some time doing skill work, because everybody can get better at that stuff. There's so many things, that's the beautiful thing with CrossFit, is that you're only limited by your creativity. And you spend some time around the adaptive community, that's a big eye-opener. So if you have people that are coming in 5 days a week, make sure you're in touch with them and watch them. You see day 4 and day 5, like they're just struggling through workouts, and 5 days of workouts probably isn't appropriate. It's not appropriate for me. Like I know me working out 5 days straight rarely happens in a year for me. Sometimes every once in a while if it happens, but I've also been doing CrossFit for almost 10 years, so I've built up the rigors of handling the intensity a little more than a lot of the other people that have started. So generally we see the 3 days on works really well, 1 day off, and then 3 days on. That's what has shown us for people to be able to psychologically and physiologically recover so they can get intensity. And I think that that's where, as coaches and leaders, you need to be able to have conversations with people and give them the why of why sometimes it's just totally appropriate to walk in, push a prowler around a few times, spend some time rolling out, spend some time on some flexibility, spend some time on some skill work, and go home and be good with it. But if you have a hard time communicating that, or if you haven't built that trust, it's going to be tough.